Okay, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today's video, we are here for the Apothecary Diaries, Season 2, Episode 9. Last episode, Mao Mao was tasked with finding out if the Empress Dowager cursed the previous Emperor, so... there's more reasoning behind that. It's not that simple, but apparently whenever the previous Emperor passed away, and his mother passed away, or was it his mother or grandmother, whichever one it was, it doesn't matter. She decayed into bones, but the previous emperor did not decay even after being left in a coffin for a year. So that's very bizarre. We're gonna probably figure that out, why that occurred in this episode here today. So you guys also corrected me that apparently Jinchi actually has no idea that he is the current emperor's child. He believes that he is the current emperor's brother, but the general public perceives him as Jinchi, the eunuch. Then a certain group perceives him as Jinchi, the emperor's younger brother. But apparently Jinchi doesn't know, because let me read the comment that someone made. Jinchi wanted, I think I was referring, in the video in question, I was referring to Jinchi in episode 20, when he was talking about the Emperor making a new prince. The comment here says, Jinchi wanted the Emperor to make a new heir so that his role as next in line, since he is the current Emperor's brother, would get superseded by said heir. And this can be confusing, but to keep it short, Jinchi has no clue about his real parentage. As far as he knows, his real parents are the former Emperor and the Empress Dowager. If he knew, he would also realize that even if the current Emperor bore another son, he will still be the first in line. My only issue with that line of thinking, because it does make sense, because he refers to the Empress Dowager as mother and claims that he was told that the Empress Dowager and the previous Emperor were his parents in a flashback at the beginning of episode 7. But what confuses me about that is why when Aduo left, did he go to speak with her? Why was he crying when she left? The only reason I feel he would be crying like that is if he was close with her and maybe knew that was his mom. So I don't know, that's very confusing to me. Maybe you guys will clarify in the comments again. But alas, yeah, we're gonna see where Mao Mao's gonna go, figuring out what went on with the previous emperor in this episode. I think that was all I wanted to address, the thing with Jinchi. I don't think there was anything else. Let me just be sure. Someone also clarified that in last episode when the guy was talking to the emperor and talking about, I forget what the exact line was. Some people do not view the introduction of new blood favorably, so be careful. That question, the emperor already knows that with Aduo and all that, but then you go, he pointed the question to Jinchi because Jinchi, he's referencing Mao Mao basically. If Jinchi was to get with Mao Mao, some people would not look favorably upon that because she would be new blood. So all in all, yeah, I think those are the two things I wanted to address that I mistook over the past couple episodes. Anyway, let's see where this mystery is going to go, why the previous emperor was not decaying in this episode. Per usual, feel free to check out the Patreon and Discord. Links are in the description below. As far as the Discord goes, we talk about current anime, past anime, current manga, past manga, and have non-anime conversations as well. And as far as the Patreon goes, you get exclusives and uncuts to all my reactions. So feel free to check out either of those of your own will. Now, without further ado, stop straight to the Apothecary Diaries, Season 2, Episode 9. And whenever you're seeing this on YouTube, YouTube's been catching up a lot as of late. Like today, when I'm recording this, I posted Episode 5. So honestly, I don't know how far ahead I'm going to be on the Patreon whenever this gets posted on YouTube. I've been super busy outside of doing reactions, so these have been coming out a little bit slower. But ideally, I'll be caught up. I don't know, though. Anyway, let's go ahead and hop right into the episode now. What's going on here? Oh, that's right. Did she just finish? Yeah, okay. She just finished here. Yes. 6 years. かつて過ごしていた胸がなくなれば思い出させるものは墓所くらいか。暗視様の気持ちも晴れないだろう。わかりました。一つお願いがあります。選定が済まわれていたという。Oh, request permission. I mean, if you want to figure it out, she's going to need to be able to go in the room where he was bedridden until he died. Yeah. Are cuter than I expected. Is she back? Where is she now? Where's she staying now? Oh, is she back at Jinchi's place? Yeah, she's on extra high alert as of late. Yeah, that whole interaction last episode where she pushed Mao Mao against the wall and that freaked her out.
奥の部屋から探してきていいわよ。
読める機会に読んでおかないと。趣味の合う本があるといいけど。待て。睡蓮様、結構。
Pretty young.
気になるの？
ご安心を。盗もうなどと考えておりません。
わかってるわよ。
Ah, that's Jinshi's toys.
ジンシ様のお気に入りたちよ。
What do you think of Master Jinshi?
いい上司だと思います。
I think he's a good boss.
珍しい薬をくれる。
何か含んでない。はい。これでばかり遊ぶから。隠したもの。でもそうなると手がつけられないくらい泣いてしまって。
他にもおもちゃはございますよ。
There are other toys.
新しいおもちゃを持ってきてはどうにかしよう。
どうして取り上げたのですか？
一つのものに執着すると、そ
They
れば
lose
かりに
sight of the others.
それが許される立場に生まれた人ではないからよ。嫌でも背伸びして大きくなってもらわなくてはいけなかった。それがジンシ様の母君の願いだったから。
Mr. Jinshi's mother
母君の。
had to step up and be the adult. Now, I want to believe that comment, but so many things are telling me, I don't know, the whole Jinshi's family lineage thing with the possible baby swap, who believes what, who knows what, is very confusing.
抑圧された環境で育つと心に影響を受けると聞く。だんだん見せるようになった子供っぽい部分。
Part of his true personality, yeah. They literally showed the scene of him crying there. That was after Aduo, or that was the last night that Aduo was there. But the others surrounding him he's treated as the elegant eunuch.
この絵は。
あら、こんなところに。
She yoinked that from her quick. And Mao Mao did not get a good look.
触ってもいいですか？
She touching it with gloves on, or like a napkin, handkerchief.
すぐに取り上げたのですか？
Is that poisonous?
毒ですから。
What?
なぜこんなものが落ちていたのか。
Good thing she took it from him immediately. What the fuck?
インシ様は幼い頃、内定に入ることがありましたか？
多少は。
今は何も言えません。一つの仮説がある。
But no proof.
明日になれば皇太后様の言う呪い。
I can clear that up tomorrow.
それまでお待ちいただけますか？いつの間にかジンシ様まで。あまり大げさにしたくなかったんだけど。
Damn, Jinshi and the Empress Dowager do look similar too. That's interesting. She also had his hair. The thing is, while her hair and eyes might be similar, Aduo and Jinshi look fucking identical. Like, I think at this point we know, we know Aduo is his mother. But it's just a question of now it's been tossed in my head that because I was already in episode 7 kind of confused by how they had laid things out. But then that comment pushed the idea further that he does not know. He believes he is the younger brother. But then you take the Aduo situation into account, and that's weird too. But it's also weird the other way, like in the flashback how he referred to the Empress Dowager as mother, and then said in that flashback that he had been told the Empress Dowager and the previous emperor were his mother and father. Just be mold. There's that rock all over the floor.
先が平たく揃えられた筆。絵を描く趣味があったのでしょうか？
一度だけ書いていただいたことがあります。ここだけの秘密だとおっしゃっていました。
It's Jinshi tapping his.
動揺している？本人は冷静を装ってるつもりだろうけど。
Damn, yeah, he is tapping like crazy. I don't know and don't want to know much. I'm right there with you, Mao Mao, to be honest.
だが呪いの正体を暴くには証拠がいる。先帝はずっとこの部屋で絵を描かれていましたか？
先帝がこの部屋にこもるようになってからは同じものがついていたはずです。
その方を呼べますか？触ってもいいですか？
どうぞ。
思ったより硬い。 それに独特な匂いもする。床には半透明のかけら、浮き取ろうとしたような汚れもある。
Yeah.
壁に近づくほど増えている。
Whoa!
柔らかい。表面に塗料も塗られている。がついていたけど、もう一つどうでもいいこと
I
が
think I
分
made
かる。
another useless discovery. Yeah.
あなたは
やんごとなきお人の部屋を任されるの
Yeah.
はお聞きしたいことがあるのですが。
この人は元奴隷です。喋れません。
わかりました。
Oh.
口が聞けない人を選んで使用人
Who
にするこ
can't
とは
speak
ま
as
ま
a
ある。
servant?
常に人の目にさらされる。首を振るだけで構いません。この部屋に絵などはありませんでしたか？何かあったと思いますが。
Is your feet just refusing to talk to maybe.
いや、
His hands are shaking now.
何かを隠している。壁に何かあるのですか？
Ooh.
この壁紙、はいでもいいでしょうか？やめろとでも言わんばかりだ
He's
な。
yelling at me to stop.
構わないわ。どうせ壊されるのだもの。それで何かわかるならば。
慎重に。
Whoa. Oh my god.
この絵、
Holy shit.
なんだそれは。
選定が書かれたものでしょう。ない。
I don't either.
国
How's the
本当の
leaders?
才能
All
を生か
because
す
he
こと
ended
な
up becoming the leader of this
くな
nation.
くなったのだろう。
Hmm.
それだけの力が。この女性が着ている衣の色、竜王という石を砕いて作った絵の具だと思います。
Orpiment.
竜王はひどくと同じ毒性を持ってい
Oh
ます。
my
そ
god.
してひどくに物を腐りにくくする作用があります。
Really?
最初は壁紙か何かに使われた硫黄をと考えていま
I've
した。
knowingly absorbed it into
です
his
が
body.
違う可能性が出てきました。硫黄を元にした顔料を使っていたのです。 硫黄に含まれるひどくを
So when he passed, he didn't decompose for a while.
全身に回って隠れるようにして絵を描き続けた。帝ともあろうお方が絵を描くなんてとんでもないと周りはそう捉える。だからバカ殿と呼ばれた選定でも
Even being referred to as the
口の
idiot
聞けない奴
emperor.
隷の従者に部屋の管理を任せて
So the slave couldn't talk about it
い
either.
たの。まだ弾力がある。
Oh my god, and so he just kept doing it over and over and over.
これほど多くの絵となると選定の母である女帝。
The so-called
この絵の女
empress.
性は
Ah. So yes, the empress who ended up passing away in here with him, right?
帝にふさわしい器ではないことを偶然帝の地位を手に入れた悪を守ろうと
Accidentally.
集めた。たとえ女帝と呼ばれるようになったとしても、このために何でもした女帝が最後に与えたのが絵を描く道具だった。
Not knowing that it was poison.
なんという皮
Wow.
肉だろう。
That's brutal.
私が言えるのはここまでです。
ええ、十分な働きでした。
まるで早急の彼方にいる誰かに
Send
問いかけているみ
questions to someone beyond the skies.
たいなんて。
はあ、腹が立つ。かすれていてもなお、あの方の
Even
存
the
在
fate of
感
that
は
person's
大きい
presence
の
is
ね。
still strong.
私はこの絵の中にいるのかしら。いいえ、所詮私など通り過ぎるだけ
I
です。
bet you if she reveals it, or if she like,
ここにある傷跡のおかげ。
God, fuck, this is such such a grim topic.
国母としての今があるに過ぎない。にある
Scar on my
傷跡のお
body
か
is
げ
the
で
only thing allowing me to be treated as the mother of this nation.
偶然選定の手にかかり、そう同情する声もあった。
Someone was
確か
coming
に
that
そ
way
んな
to
娘
pity
がいただ
me.
ろう。しかし、帝の性癖のことはあらかじめ知っていた。母は側室。予兆が来るのが早かった私を、父は都合のいい道具として利用
That's
している。
fucking. Oh my god, this poor woman. She seems like a really respectable and nice person, but dear god, did her upbringing fucking suck. Her dad, piece of shit that used her to get political gain in the world, and then she got stuck with this fucking creep. Disgusting creep, dude.
高級には中級妃の次女として入った。
Leading winning of a
妃
mid-ranking
は腹違いの
concubine.
姉。長よ花よと育てられた姉は、 父の思惑など知る由もなかった。
No idea what her
ねえ
father had in
アンシ
mind.
ついに今夜帝がいらっしゃるのね。うまい遠目にお見かけしたけど、とても美しい方だったの。そうですか。お待ちしておりました。
He looks eerily like Jinchi when young. Oh my god. I mean, it makes sense if he's technically his grandfather. Like, this is Jinchi's grandfather right here. Because if technically people think, if what the comment said is correct, people believe that this is Jinchi's father. Or a select group that knows he is the Emperor's younger brother, believes this is his father, but for the even tinier select few who maybe know the baby swap occurred, and again, that still was a whole theory by Mao Mao, but it's a theory I think is correct. Or nothing has been said to dissuade me of thinking that theory is correct. But either way, he is still this person's grandson. This is his grandfather.
さあ、どうぞ中へ。
Oh my god.
帝
What the fuck is wrong with him?
とても国の
No,
頂点
he
に立つ
didn't.
者には思えなかった。帝に比例を浴びるかすればよかったのだけれど。
大丈夫でしょうか。
帝の目は
His
確かに
gaze
こちらを
surely
捉
fell
え
on
た。
mine.
野心に満ちた少女の目を。私は先帝の子を宿し、何度も命の危険にさらされた。幸運だったのは。次女ならば妃を慰めるか、帝に比例を浴びるかすればよかったのだ。
But instead, she went up and asked if he was alright.
大丈夫でしょうか。
帝の目は確かにこちらを捉えた。
Maybe I'm looking way too deep into this, because part of me feels like this feels like just an innocent thing she did. She went up to him and just said, "Are you all right?" And then that's when he fell in love with her. As fucking gross as that is, that's when that happened. Because it feels that like that's kind of what she's saying. At that moment, his gaze surely fell on mine. But it's just eyes of the girl, full of ambition. I'm gonna let this continue playing before I speak.
何度も命の危険にさらされた。幸運だったのは子が男子で女帝が孫であると認めてくれたことだろう。
よしよし。
My God. How
以前女児を産んだ娘がいた。
There once was a girl who gave birth to a daughter who was the late emperor's daughter.
先帝に知らぬと否定さ
So
れ、
he knew
そ
nothing
の
of
父
it.
親とされ、
A doctor was declared the father and was exiled with the baby.
当時医官だけは医官も去勢を義務付けられた。
この腹の手術をしたものも不憫なことこの上な。
Luomin. Yeah. Wait. Luomin did this one too? He did the operation on her as well? Back then? Because we knew Luomin was there for Aduo and the Empress Dowager's births, like, in the future. When the baby swap, all that shit went down. But he was here for this too? Oh my god. I mean, I guess it makes sense. Even when Lacan was a kid, Luomin was still around because him and Lacan got along well. The girl who gave birth to the so-called daughter was left in... Damn, in her dear god. It probably actually was the late emperor's kid, and he just refused to claim it. He refused to claim the kid because it was a daughter. And so that girl lost her child, and a random doctor got kicked out, and then all doctors in the future had to be castrated. She will probably never leave the rear palace.
少女の外見で亡くなった私に先帝は会いに来ようとはしなかった。
That's... Ew! Oh, it's so fucking disgusting.
また高級が拡張するそうね。はい。
Shisho. And we know the reason Lolon is here is because her father has a ton of power because the Empress Dowager likes him. It's been mentioned many a times before.
私と同じ使命を帯びた幼い娘たちが
Tasked with the same mission as me. Does she mean have the late Emperor's child? There he is.
女帝の傀儡としてのみ存
A
在し
pathetic man, a puppet of the
幼い娘にしかまともに話しかけら
God.
れない
The more I hear about this guy, the more I fucking hate
情け
him.
ない男そんなものに忘れられるのが許せなかった。私が怖いですか？私が大人の女になったからこの腹の傷が許しを請うて怯える男を
I
見たかった。
tormented him.
男に手をかけられた幼い娘たち、偉大な母である女帝よりも深く思い出につなぎ止めるため
More intensely than any of
その後
them.
先手心を壊してあの胸に引きこもった。誰のせいかなんて
Holy
追求する
shit.
気も。あの男はこの部屋で女帝である母と
Thinking only about his mother, the Empress, and the other girls
真
who
の
had
ない
no
娘たちばかり思い
ambitions.
描いていたのだろう。
Jesus.
一度だけ私を描いてくれた。とても大事にしていたけれど
I told
ついで
Sui.
に捨てるのだと
Was that the painting that Jinshi had? Or that the Suiden had put in Jinshi's?
私には必要
I
ない。
had no need for it.
私が選定にとって必要ないように。
昔あの方が私たちの元へ来たことがありましたね。
何年前だったかしら。
あの時こんなものを拾いました。そうです。
この石が。
今朝睡蓮がようやく返してくれました。
そう。不義のこと言われようと取り違えられた
Child
子
of
であろう
mistake,
と
Jesus.
大切なこと。
So that night, you could assume the night here, where one could assume. I mean, this is so holy shit. This is oh my god, such a just oh Jesus. So I just actually I don't think I have words to describe how just this whole situation is because I mean she essentially raped him here. It's essentially what happened, and I just God. I don't even have the words because saying he deserved it sounds fucking horrible. This guy is the absolute most garbage piece of absolute trash. But like, I don't know. This whole situation is so, oh my god, it's so scuffed. Because you could assume this is the night she got pregnant with her baby, which inevitably, sadly, after the baby swap ended up passing away under Aduo's ladies in waiting care. I still forget her name, whatever it is. That's when that baby passed away. And Jinshi, Aduo's baby, is the one that survived. Which, it seems like, does she not even know? Because that line there... Child of mistake. Whatever, no matter what they say, a precious child, nonetheless.
年若い娘の絵で淡く色付けされていました。この石を拾ったのは
捨てろと言ったはずなのに。
あなたは好んでこの色を着ていらっしゃいましたね。
Oh, is that to imply that drawing
たまたまよ。
just a
あの絵の女性は
coincidence?
あの時あの方は
That scene there
知らないわ。知ろうとしないことを選んだ。
chose not to know.
それよりもあなた
Holy shit, I can't even like I can't transition to a joke after everything that was just shown. I mean, I feel like there's so many so many intricacies to what went on in this episode that I feel like I have to be missing something. I mean, holy fuck. This feels like such a jam-packed episode. Because this whole scene back here where she as a child walked up to the Emperor, I'm taking that scene as it was just a genuine innocent act as a child, because what she says here, the eyes of the girl full of ambition, it truly feels to me like it was just an innocent act to go and ask if he was okay. And then, or is there I don't know. I don't want to read into this wrong and because this is such an interesting line. To have such a man forget me, that was unacceptable. And so then she went into his room at night. I mean, all in all, this appears to me like, I mean, she's a victim in all of this. Obviously. Fucking obviously. This dude is a complete piece of shit child predator, and it seems like when it came to it, and he just forgot about her once she grew up, and he kept going and picking on other young girls, that she ended up wanted to, like, as the one he got pregnant, and it seems like he might have got that other girl pregnant, but the one that he got pregnant had a kid, and she's still here. She wanted to torment him until the end of his days, and so she raped him here, essentially, which, like, that's still... It's just a thing. Oh, see, I'm getting into that situation again. I hate the idea of being like, I can never feasibly say that is justified. I can't feasibly say the idea that rape is justified in any way. I just can't, because that's what happened here, right? Jinshi is, or they believe Jinshi to be the child between these two. She got pregnant again from doing this to him, from sleeping with him this night. I don't know. It is such an unbelievably fucked situation. Like, a part of me wants to be like, I can't say it. I can't say she deserves her revenge. I cannot say that. That no matter how bad of a person he was, any idea of doing something like that to anyone is just, I can't get behind it. He's a terrible person. He deserves to be, like, punished or death, all the above. He deserves that. But I don't know. I can never see a situation, because, like, all he did to... But I'm fumbling over my words now. I don't know. I don't have a good way to talk about this situation, because it's so bad. Because he preyed on her when she was a child. He preyed on tons of other people when they were young girls. It's disgusting. He deserves the worst. He deserves death. But I don't know. I don't know. I can't bring myself to say the words he deserved what happened to him there, even if he maybe did. I don't know. I don't know. This is such a morally gray situation. No matter how you look at it, it is so hard to navigate what's I don't even know. I'm moving on. Trying to play up that he's totally in love with her. Even I can tell there's more to it than that. I'm watching you for many years now. Someone may hide them from you. What a crazy episode. Holy shit. That might be like the single heaviest episode of this entire show. There's been some heavy dark stories with some people here that have happened throughout this series, but that sincerely might be like the darkest and heaviest one. Cause I never will be of the like eye for an eye situation is a good thing. But he was such a bad, awful fucking person. But rape is just such a horrible thing that no matter how bad the person may be, I can't feasibly wish that on somebody. It's just, that's such a horrible thing to me. I don't know. This was such a heavy episode. Jesus Christ. This also felt like a super densely packed, detail heavy episode that was very, very show don't tell. So I also think it's super possible I missed out on some of the intricacies of the dialogue and what's being said and meanings and things like that. So if you want to clarify in the comments, feel free. I don't know. I definitely feel like there's probably some things I either misunderstood, took out of context, didn't relate to a scene that it's supposed to go with, or dialogue I misunderstood, a scene I misunderstood. That's totally possible. It happens all the time with this series, but that's just one of the fun parts of this series, is that it's super hard to read sometimes. And especially when you get a situation like this and you have to try to morally think in your own brain, like try to morally put those puzzle pieces together. That was such a good episode for that. Because, I mean, I had several occasions I found myself at a complete loss of words for how to judge in my own brain morally what's going on here. Because everything is so just morally all over the fucking place. Like, the bottom line is that guy was a horrible person. Absolute degenerate piece of garbage. Deserved to be put to death type human. Disgusting. But I don't know. I just cannot feasibly... It's such a scuff situation. I'll leave it at that. I've just been trying to work this whole thing in my own mind throughout all this, but so post-recording bluest here. I've been looking at this episode for a while, because this just, there's so much to unpack. So I was reading some comments as well on another reaction video to maybe better understand what was going on here, and I completely skipped over this scene right here where she very clearly explains that her father set her up, because then she says, had no idea what our father had in mind. I mean, it just... I could be so off base in what I'm reading here, but a lot of comments seem to kind of voice the same opinion. That, let's cut ahead for a second. Obviously, this guy, I called him a piece of trash the other episode because he is. Innately what he's doing is garbage. But when I kept looking through this scene afterwards, and I kept, and more, I was like, this is not the behavior of someone who is okay in the head. Something happened to this man. Something happened to him, and there's a specific line here in particular. If we go all the way to... who can only talk to young girls. That doesn't make it sound like he has an interest. It doesn't make it sound like... It doesn't read like this is a man who targets young girls maliciously. This reads as though he has such deep-rooted trauma with older women that it is literally impossible for him to speak to older women. He is only capable of speaking to young girls. Does that forgive anything that he did? Absolutely not. Everything that he did was so horrible. Absolutely horrible what he did to these young girls. But it also appears that it came from a possible place of trauma on his own. It's not said in this episode what it is or what it could possibly be, but you can come up with some ideas for why he would fear an adult woman. You can come up with some ideas. None of which are good, but there's only so many things that could traumatize a person as clearly badly as he was. And when she goes in here to essentially rape him, he is utterly terrified of her. And so I just kind of wanted to come back in and go over this again, because I feel like I just kind of called him trash and then sidelined it to think about some of the other stuff going on. But the previous emperor is clearly much deeper than he's just interested in little girls. He's a pedophile. There is so clearly something much deeper wrong here. And I mean, this whole situation is so fucked. He essentially took her when she was a kid. Her dad forced her to go out there. At least the way this scene reads to me, with the new context of coming back to this scene where it's clear her father is pushing her to do this for his own political gain. It appears to me, this scene where she says here very clearly, I could have consoled the concubine I served or apologized to the emperor, but she walks up to him and says, are you all right? And I could be reading this totally wrong, but combining the scene with what her father said, it seems like she is going up and approaching him to become a thing with him willingly, I say willingly with big air quotes, because it seems that she wants to take it that way when it's pretty clear she probably didn't have a choice in the first place. And so that went down where at that moment his gaze surely fell on mine. These two lines in particular, man. The eyes of the girl full of ambition. This episode is so incredibly done, but it is so dark. Like, dear God, it is so dark. And so, in a way, he rapes her because, and no matter which way you look at it, even if she wanted to make it appear as though it was a decision that she made, it was clear her father forced her into this. She was raped. She had his kid, and then she turned around when she saw him continuing to go after young girls, she raped him herself. I mean, it is such a absolutely fucked situation. And some of the comments that I was going over, like, maybe I'll just slap this comment on the video in all honesty, because it covers everything super well in a way that I don't think I ever could. I think this line in particular on this comment is really good. A woman loved and trusted by those who know her, and who just once let her anger burst out when she saw that her ordeals meant nothing to the very man she'd sacrificed her childhood for, the man who'd become the center of the world. That is such a well-written line. I don't. This episode is so complicated. It's insane. I'm sure there are still things that I have missed, but I wanted to come back in here because I feel like I didn't address the previous emperor correctly. He is not a good person. What he does to these young girls is not good, even remotely. It is garbage. But it is clear he is not well either. It is clear he went through something. Like I said, you can make some theories about, like, who the fuck reacts like that to a woman touching him on the arm? They're so clear he is not okay. Which, once again, I'm not condoning anything that happened. Everything that happened is disgusting, but it's such a scuff situation. ANSHI here, the Empress Dowager, seems like such an angel, and the one time she lets loose is just, I mean, she literally rapes him. There is no good side in this situation. ANSHI is 100% a victim, but it's clear the previous emperor was a victim of somebody before that, and his trauma and whatever occurred to him led to him doing atrocious things as well. Once again, I'm not condoning what happened. I am just placing a theory as to why it possibly happened. This line here, I talked about it a second ago, but who can only talk to younger girls, is the most telling line. I'm annoyed that I didn't pick up on it at first, but there was so much going on. It's not that he prefers to talk to young girls, he literally only can. He is not capable of speaking to other women from some trauma in his life, clearly. So this was an insanely layered episode. Probably this is honestly one of the best episodes of the entire show, the way it handles the subject matter between these two. It is such an incredibly fucked situation, in all facets. Facets? Assets? Is that how you say that word, facets? Whatever. I don't know where I'm going to stick this in the video, because this is now at like a 10-minute talking segment, and I'm almost certain there is still things that I absolutely missed. So I'll let you guys fill me in the comments. I'm sure someone will have a better way with words than I do, will have noticed more small details that I missed, but this episode was incredible. That's all I want to say. The way it was handled and everything, truly an incredible episode. And that comment also pointed out that they fully believe that ANSHI knows that Jinshi is not her child. Some people theorize. I don't know if this is going to get brought up later in the show or not. It feels to me like we're closing the book on the Empress Dowager for the time being, as we kind of got her a whole full story for her here. But some people were saying that it appears at least that it's totally possible she agreed to baby swap with Aduo because she could not bear to raise a child from a man she raped. I think there was another comment in here that I was reading that kind of tackled that well. Yeah, here's someone who says, anime watcher only here. I'll have to say that ANSHI knows Jinshi isn't her own son. She says child of immorality, child of a mistake. In other anime translations, she says child swapped. I can only think that she and Aduo chose to swap children. Aduo wanted her child to live, and ANSHI didn't want to take care of a child of rape. She believed ANSHI could not bear to take care of a child from a man that she raped. And so she swapped with Aduo because she knew that Aduo's baby would get better care under hers. And so she Jinshi was raised with her. And then the other child ended up dying. I mean, that would make a lot of sense, honestly. Seeing the kind of person that ANSHI is, and that would make sense. I don't know if that is confirmed true or anything like that, but anyway, this is seriously one of the best episodes of this entire show, which is funny because episode 9 of season 1 was also an incredible episode as well. Anyway, I don't have too much more to add here. Like I said, anything that I missed, feel free to fill me in, but I definitely needed to come back after looking at this episode a lot more, after reading some comments a lot more, and better put my thoughts together before I wrapped up this video. Anyway, this is gonna be a long ass video, probably one of the longer reactions for Apothecary Diaries, but it's necessary for an episode like this. Anyway, yeah, let's get back to the actual episode now. Or not the episode, this is in the after credits, but to the actual video now. God damn it, second interjection here. I have a little something else to add. This, when referring to the drawing, and then she thinks of who the Emperor was drawing in there. It's just, what did he try to tell us back then? He drew her. That is a picture of her. Like, that is a picture of the Empress Dowager. She succeeded. The entire time that he had locked away in that room and his mind was broken, he was thinking of her. And she's got a little... I chose not to know. That's all I wanted to add, is that it's like, in the end, what she did, yeah, the entire time he was in there, he was not thinking of, he was not painting his mother or anything like that. He was painting her. Jesus. Anyway, now back to the video again. Damn, that was... I wanted to stay like Mao Mao, in all honesty. She's like, I don't want to know about this person. I don't really care to know about him. I don't want to know about him. That was me. Fucking, that was me. Anyway, that was still a really, really good episode. I think it was definitely necessary to dive into the Empress Dowager herself and what she's been through, what that horrible emperor put other young girls through. I mean, it's terrible. But anyway, I think that is going to wrap it up from reaction to the Apothecary Diaries, Season 2, Episode 9. Hope you guys did enjoy, and I hope you all have a good day.